that is by letting them know. And you'd be surprised, even if they get like 4 or 5 on one panel, then that panel comes back the next year. So please make sure you let them know. So I'm sure you're going to be in for a very fun, exciting, energetic time with Brian here. And thanks, Brian, for coming back and speaking.
All right. Oh, stop it. Okay, so one of the things, so proper pitching and promoting yourself. If you are not on social media, not only do you all suck, but you're doing it wrong, okay? So right now you guys are all on YouTube Live. Say hello to everybody. Woo! All right. So, my name is Brian Tillman. I'm going to put this over here and see if it'll still work later. Technology in me. There we go. All right. Put this here. All right. There we go. Okay, so my name is Brian Tillman. And I am hopefully what you came here to see. So proper pitching and promoting yourself, everyone's here for that, right? Yep. Yeah? Okay. So one thing that I always do is I shun people who are late. So if people start strolling in late, I always yell at them. And I'll do something stupid like... And I expect all of you to turn, look at them, and then go, "You're late!" That's something I need, okay? It's like that's just something that I need because it's a key component to actually pitching and promoting yourself well is to, you know, be on time, okay? Now, I know it's Comic-Con and, you know, it's hard to get from one place to the other. I don't care. Okay, I'm going to make sure that you know you're late, okay? So we'll give everyone a couple minutes, right, as we're getting to know each other. But once we get into the meat and potatoes, if they're late, we, not just me, but we are going to shun them, okay? Now, as I mentioned, my name is Brian Tillman, and I am currently a professor at Norfolk State University. I teach graphic design. Before that, I was the academic director for the Art Institute of Washington for 9 years. I was in charge of animation, game art, visual effects, motion graphics, photography, video, and audio production. Okay, it was the majority of the school was me. So, so I like to educate. I do these things often. I come back every year. And every year I get a couple more people. So the more that we can tell Comic-Con that we want this, maybe the more they'll promote me. Maybe we'll get into a fancy room, like a real big one. No Hall H, that's just crazy. Nobody wants to be in that. That's crazy. Anyway, so over the years I have come up with a couple rules on how to help pitch and promote yourself. A lot of people think that it is impossible and that you can't actually do such things as have something that is worth a dang and then show it to people without going, okay? And I'm going to give you some pointers on how to actually make sure that you can successfully pitch or promote yourself or a product, okay? We good so far? So far. Yeah. So far, so good. All right. There are like 3 people who are awake. Awesome. So, first thing is I got to do a side rule. I come from an era of call and response. So if I ask you a question, I actually want the answer. I'm not here to hear myself talk. I've heard that, and I'm sorry that you're actually going to be in here for an hour and a half with me because I don't have a James Earl Jones voice, so my bad. You're just going to have to deal with that. Another thing that I want to make sure you guys know right from the beginning is I'm not going to teach you anything you don't already know. Not a single thing. Okay? Now, I'm going to present it to you in a way that you're going to go, oh, yeah. And then you're going to leave and be like, you didn't tell me a dang thing. I knew that, which is fine. Okay? But if you, right now, if you're like, you know what? If he's not going to teach me anything, I'm out. Oh no, it's this way. There's the door. You won't be shunned for leaving. Okay, you'll be shunned for coming late, but you won't be shunned for leaving. But like I said, the thing is that you know this stuff. I promise you, you know this stuff. You just need someone to A, kick you in the butt, and B, show it to you in a way that hopefully is interesting. Okay, and so that's what I'm going to be doing for you today. Okay? Yes. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. By the end of it, you guys will be on top of things. It's going to be fantastic. So, as I mentioned, there are five rules. I don't know if I mentioned, I said I made some rules. There are 5 rules that you need to know. 5. There are thousands of rules, but there are only 5 that you really need. Okay? If you can do these 5 rules, you will be in the best position to properly promote and pitch your own product or yourself. Okay? So, how many were here last year? How many repeat? Oh, not that many. Great. You guys can't answer any questions. So, what do you guys think the #1 rule of proper pitching and promoting yourself would be?
Confident.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Do it.
Do it, sort of, but no, because you can do a whole bunch of doo-doo, and you know you're like, I'm going to promote the. Go ahead.
Yourself.
Know what it is you're promoting?
Know what it is you're promoting? What'd you say?
Know yourself.
No. But knowing your product, okay? You need to know your product. And I don't mean like, hey, I created a comic book. Know your product. I mean, know your product, okay? You should know your product like the back of your hand. Now, I don't know. I'm pretty sure some of you are like, the heck is that? Okay. You look at your hand, you're like, I don't know. But the thing is that you should actually know what your product is. I mean through and through, to where if someone asks you a question, you know it. You're like, I got it. There's no doubt, I know exactly what's going on, and I can tell you everything you need to know about this product. And that counts for you as well. Most people are like, well, that doesn't count for myself. How am I going to promote myself? There have been so many times when people have come to my company and were like, hey, I want to work for you. And I say, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Well, see, I like to draw. I'm like, okay, obviously. I'm like, yeah, we're not going to work together. You don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about.Hy is it important to know what you're talking about? Someone said it, the first person said it. So you can be confident, okay? You have to know your product, because if you don't, you're going to go out there and look like a bumbling idiot. And nobody wants that. Well, I like that sometimes. It's pretty funny watching people just like stumble through it, and it's mean because I'm a hidden mean person, and it's fun to watch them mess up. But then I go, look, you need help with this. Let me help you here. Let me help you not do that again, okay? But the thing is, and here's a sidebar, so something you need to know about me, I go on tangents all the time, okay? But I always loop it back. So here's my first tangent of today, okay? If you decide to mess up, go down in a burning ball of glory. I mean, you go down and you're like, oh my goodness, you know that guy, he screwed up so bad. That's what you want to do, because you will be remembered, okay? Now hold on, because I'm pretty sure, like, I don't want to be remembered for that. You do, actually, okay? Now, there's one thing. If you come across like a jerk because you went down in a, flaming ball of glory, then that's different, because then they're like, this guy's just a jerk, right? Which is, you don't want that. That's never good. But if you go down and it's just like, trip, fall, spilled, soda on the person, all the things, smacked them while you're on the way down the floor, that kind of stuff, you're like, man, it was bad. The next time you come up, the person's going to be like, whoa, you're a walking disaster. Why don't you stay over there? But A, they're going to remember you, and B, you can actually go, I know that was really bad. I'm sorry. I was on an off time. Please let me show you that that's not who I am. That's not what represents me or my product. And the thing is, they will give you that shot. They're like, you know what? That was really bad. That was really bad. So why don't you try again? They're going to keep their distance. They're going to be like, if you fall down again, you're on your own. But they will. They will give you that second shot. Anyone who tells you first impressions are forever, they're lying. Okay? Unless you're with someone. You know, you're trying to get with that special girl or guy and you make a stupid impression, that might stay forever. Like, that one might stick around. But for business purposes and stuff like that, we don't want to see our fellow people fall like that. Okay? We're a small industry. Everyone wants to be in the entertainment industry, I'm assuming, in some way, right?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Everyone goes, it's got billions of dollars! Billions! Which it does. And you know how big the industry is? That big. Everyone knows everyone. And the thing is that they don't want to see us fall. They really don't. Because then they don't have anyone to help them grow the industry. They don't have anyone to push them when it comes time to make their own new product or their movie or their whatever. But if we can't do that, if we can't know our product and go, that's it, I know what I'm doing, the industry is going to go stagnant. Because think about it. How many movies do we have that are trilogies and, you know, quintuplets of themselves, and then they're like, you know what, that was really dumb when we went to the 18th movie, let's reboot it and do 18 more. You know, they're doing the same thing because they don't have anything else to do. They're like, we don't, you know what, it kind of works, so let's do that again. Until someone comes along and goes, that was really bad and stupid, and you did it way too many times. How about we give you something new? And then that movie goes, you know? Because there's, what is it, Valerium? Is that the new one? Yeah. You know, everyone's freaking out about Valerium, and there's like, they were like, we're going to try something new. I haven't seen it yet. I've seen the trailers, obviously, but I'm like, it's the same thing they said with Avatar.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. I'm like, that's great. Does it have a good story? Does it, you know, I'm like, well, no, that Fern Gully was Avatar. Anyone who watched Fern Gully or Dances with Wolves, they watched Avatar just with, you know, whiter people.
Yeah.
It's true. They were blue, and then the other ones they were all white. I mean, I didn't say anything wrong. You just saw it. It was like, oh, he said that. I'm sorry. Do we have any kids in here? We do. I see one. Okay, I'll keep it PG, because normally there are some times where I remember that I'm an adult and I say things I'm not supposed to. I'll try and keep it PG. But anyway, so if you know your product, you will be willing to make that next step. You'll be willing to actually say, you know what, here's something new, and I'm willing to defend it. Because knowing your product, it allows you to defend it when people go, well, this is like Fern Gully. And you can go, actually, it's not. And here's why. Okay? So research goes in with you knowing your product. You can't know your product if you don't know the competition of your product. So if you're trying to make a comic book and it's a superhero team and you don't know about the Justice League and you don't know about X-Men and you don't know about the Avengers, you're going to get crushed. Because they're going to go, this is the X-Men. No. I'm like, well, actually, yes, it is. No. That's not a good defense. Because you just don't know what it is. It's like, come on, guys. So you have to know it. When I cannot harp enough on knowing your product. You have to know. You have to know where you want to go. You have to know where you are, and you have to know what came before it. All those things you are going to get quizzed on 100% of the time. Anytime you go and make a pitch, they're going to say, this reminds me of this, and you have to defend it like no one's business. You have to be able to go, yes, but no. It's one of my favorite lines when I go and pitch. Like, this reminds me of this. It's like, yes, but no. The yes is if, well, I made a trading card game. Well, this reminds me of Magic. Yes, because it's a trading card game. So yeah. It's going to remind you of magic, okay? But no, because it also has miniatures and you have to actually drive a land speeder to get around, okay? Is it a good game? Probably not. But it's different, okay? And you have to be able to defend it. You have to be the one to prove to everyone else that your product or yourself is worth it. How many people are trying to be an artist? They're like, I'm promoting myself. Do we have any artists in the room? Okay. How many of you are, well, no, that puts people on the spot. So, all my artists have probably or will eventually go to an editor and try and get work, right? And you go to them and then you go, hey, here I am. And you put your portfolio in front of them and they're like, this is really great. They're really great too. And they're really great too. So what sets you apart? They'll ask you, what sets you apart? Tell me about yourself. Okay, we're not going to work with you. Because you don't know what you're talking about. You have to know you. Because they're going to ask you something like, how fast can you do a page? Oh, well, you know, if the stars align and the moon's right, and maybe if I don't sleep, I might be able to get a page every 4 days. And they're like, do you not know how fast you work? Well, you know, I've never timed myself. If you ever say you've never timed yourself, get out. This is not for you. Don't ever say that to anyone. Ever. I don't know, I've never timed myself. Because you will come across like a pompous bad word that we cannot say because there are children in the room. Okay? So you have to know. You have to put in the work. The bad part is everyone wants to just rush into getting it picked up. They want that quick money. They're like, I got this, here, look, I got this great idea. It's like, that's perfect, but you didn't think about the fact that I already own a game like that. Or that game is actually really horrible and it's doing really bad. Why would I want to make another one of that? Okay? You have to put in weeks, if not months, of research into what it is you are trying to promote. If that's you, guess what? You have to actually research people like you. And I don't mean, well, I'm a penciler, or I'm a colorist, or a painter, or a sculptor. That doesn't really help, okay? You actually have to dig a lot deeper. I'm a painter who happens to be black and 24 years old. How much money can I get? How fast do I need to be? What is the industry like towards black 24-year-old males or female? You know, you have to know these things because they're going to ask you. And they will try and undercut you instantly. And they'll go, hey, I'll give you $4 a page. And if you don't know what's going on, you might be dumb enough to take it. They're like, oh, sweet, I'm working! $4 a page. It took me 2 days to do it. Okay? If you don't know, if you're not willing to put in the time and effort, it's not going to work. You have to know your product. It is the number one thing you have to do. Because if you don't, I swear to everything that is holy on this planet, you're going to get screwed. Period. Okay? And another thing about knowing your product is you also have to know a contract. Okay? This is knowing that company that you're trying to pitch to. If you go and pitch to someone, if you didn't research them ahead of time, they're going to take advantage of you. You have to know because they will give you the most bare bone minimum contract you can ever have. Why? Who knows why?
Because they can.
Well, yes, but there's a reason.
Because they want to make the most money.
They want to make the most money. They want to make the most money. And the thing is that the contract benefits the person who wrote it. You should never, ever, 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 ever sign the first contract you're ever given. Period. Even if you've never worked before or you've worked for 20 years, never, ever, ever sign the first contract. Because I guarantee you it's some garbage. Period. Period. And I know this. Oh, the reason why they allow me to come and talk to you guys, just in case you want to know, like, he's just a teacher. Why the hell is he up here? The reason why they actually let me come and talk to you guys is because I developed a trading card game on my own. All the mechanics, the story, the characters, all the art and stuff, and now it got picked up by Upper Deck, and it's going to be released in November. Okay? That's not why I told you. The thing is that I can attest to these things. So the contract that I got was the bare minimum. It was. And I was like, no. You want, if a company is ready to give you a contract, that means they want you. They want your product. There's power in that. Now, you can try and abuse it, and then they'll just be like, whatever, we'll go find someone else. But if someone is like, hey, we're going to give you 10%, and you're like, I really want 15. They're going to come back with, well, how about 12? And you're like, sweet, I won. That's 2% more than you wanted to give me. I won. Okay? And then you can come back and like, I want 20 copies of whatever it is you're doing. You're like, how about 10? How about 15? But if you're like, I want 700 copies of the product, they're going to go, yeah, man, no. Stop it. just stop it. Okay? So, but this comes in with the research. You have to know what you're getting yourself into. Because if you don't, you will get screwed. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're like a good half hour in. So now when people start coming in through the door, yeah! Yes! Oh, wait. Yes! Yeah, you guys are awesome! Freaking amazing! All right. So, if the number one rule is to know your product, what's number two? It gets hard now. The first one was easy.
Know your competition.
That's part of knowing your product. All in the research. And this is what normally happens when I do this. People say things, I'm like, that's part of number one. It's part of number one. Go ahead.
Know how to market your product? Know how to talk about your product?
Nah. That's one, but nah.
Knowledge in social media and how to put it out there.
Well, that's helpful. That's going to be up here in Know Your Product. Because there are certain social medias that work better with Facebook, with Tumblr, with Instagram, and you need to know that. Yes? Yes? Know your character. Know your product. See how number one is important? Go ahead.
Be aggressive.
No. No. Now, I know what you're trying to say, but we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that, but no. Yes? On the spot. Bam!
Know your product. Prepare ahead of time.
Well, I'm sorry.
Prepare ahead of time.
Know your product. Go ahead.
Know your audience.
Know your product.
Know your role.
And shut your mouth? No. No. Go ahead.
Know your pitch. Really? What does it tell us?
No, this is the best part. You better. You better. But that's actually down here. Surprisingly, showing up and not smelling like a garbage can is actually lower on the list. Go ahead. All right. What's that? Yes.
Execution.
Nope. Anyone else? Last chance? Sir?
Know who you're pitching to.
Know your product.
Persist, keep going.
It's down here. Yes.
Look the part.
What's that mean? At first I was like, yeah, that's down here. I'm like, wait a minute, what does that mean? Go ahead.
Find your opportunity.
Nope, that's down here. We're not ready yet. We're not ready yet. I want to do two more.
Know your goals.
Know your audience.
Okay, one more. You.
Find your craft.
That's knowing your product. If you're like, I need to fix it, that means you know that you need to fix it. Okay? All right. Oh, wait, no. No, there's a whole one. There you go. Oh, yes! All right. So, number 2, and this one's important. Okay? This is how you know that you know your product. Okay? Number 2 is to BS your way to the truth. Okay? Now it is very, very, very important that you heard that entire sentence when I said BS your way to the truth. Okay? Don't just go out there and say whatever floats your boat. Okay? But it has to lead to the truth. And what I mean by that is you might study all the time. You know everything about your product. You have practiced in the mirror. You have talked to people. You played your game. You've drawn your comic. You've done everything possible. You are ready. You're ready to go in front of Marvel and be like, I got this. And then they go, so your planet is like Earth. What's different about it? And you go, oh, the gravity's different. Really? How? And then you're like, don't do that. You have to be like, it's different because the air pressure in this planet is 10 times heavier than it is on Earth. And then they go, all right, because they don't know. They don't know. And you're just like, all right. And then you go, and you tuck that in your back pocket. Because when they bring you back, okay, so you convince them and they're like, oh, you know what? We'll have you back because we want to have a more in-depth conversation with you. And if you start talking and that's not part of it, they're going to call you out on it. Like, I thought you said that gravity was 10 times heavier. How is this human jumping? You better either A, come up with something really fast, or B, just, you know what, suck it up and be like, my bad, I forgot. But don't ever do that. You have those 2 options. You can apologize for what happened. Don't ever do that. Ever. I mean, if you slip and fall and... If you slip and fall and you punch someone in the face, you should apologize for that. If you sneeze and you're like, and it's like all over their face, you apologize for that. If you forgot somehow that you mentioned something earlier, don't forget. A, don't forget. But B, don't ever apologize. Do you know why? It makes you look bad.
Shows you don't know your product.
Shows you don't know your product.
I think you're Canadian.
That was not nice. Wait, sweat?
Shows a lack of confidence.
Shows a lack of confidence. Okay? You have to exude this feeling of, I know what I'm doing. And I know that this, whatever it is, you or the product, is going to make them money. Because in the end, that's what it's all about. Money. Because you wouldn't be applying to someone else if you had money. Right? I mean, right? Right. So in the end, you have to prove to them how you're going to make them money. Because they have to pay you. Oh, you guys are awesome. So you have to make sure that you do not feel sorry about what you did. Unless, of course, you punch someone in the face or spit in them and stuff like that. But if it was a simple mishap and you forgot, don't apologize. Make something up. This human has trained their legs for the past 26 years and can dunk on anybody. But they're only 4'2". Exactly. And that's right, 4'2" dunks on 7 feet people. Bam! That's why on this planet, he can still jump. And they're gonna go, okay, sure, why not? You know, once again. That one was a little lackluster, I must say. That one wasn't as good. But the reason why BS your way to the truth is important because it teaches you 2 things. One, you have to think on your feet. You have to. If for some reason you can't do that, don't pitch. Period. Get an agent. That's what their career is. To pitch either you as a product or a product to someone. They're not cheap. So what I would recommend is learn how to talk. Yes! So thinking on your feet is what's going to land you that job. Because when I went to Upper Deck, and I've worked with them doing artwork for years, and I went up to them and I said, do you even do game pitches? And they're like, yes, we do. Oh, okay, not what I was expecting, but cool. Can I do one? They're like, yes, come with me.
Right now.
Okay. And it was right then and there, like, pitch, now. And that was it. You had to be ready. Because it was right then and there. I pitched to Jasco Games, I pitched to Fantasy Flight, I pitched to Hasbro, I pitched to everybody, and it was, yes, right now. Okay. Right after lunch. You know what? I've got 5 minutes. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Have to be able to think on your feet. The ability to confuse people into thinking that you know exactly what you're talking about ties into thinking on your feet, but also getting rid of filler words. Everyone knows what filler words are? You know. I hate you know. No, I don't know. Hence why I'm listening to you. Tell me. Like is a big one. Like, yesterday I went to the store, like. What are you saying? Stop it. So that's a good one too. Exactly. Do you guys know why filler words exist?
You don't know what to say.
What was that?
I can write an 8-page essay for my class.
So filler words is your brain going, I should be talking. I should be saying something because I'm standing in front of people. So I should be saying something, but I don't know what to say. And it just inserts something real easy. And then you look like a babbling... You look like a babbling goldfish because you're out there going... Do you want to hire someone that goes... You know, like when I started, so yeah, it was great, like... No, I don't care what you have. You could have the next golden ticket. I'm not sitting through that pitch. There's no way. Practice what you do. In number 1, practice. And if for some reason you do get stumped because they asked you a question that you were not prepared for, BS your way to the truth. And it has to be to the truth. Because otherwise, they will call you on it. And the industry is too small and then everyone else will know that you don't know what you're talking about. So you want to make sure that you know what you're talking about, or you are able to think on your feet fast enough to convince other people that you know what you're talking about. Good so far?
Yeah.
Yes.
Number one? What's number three? You give up? You can't give up now. We just started. Yes.
Deliver,
No, who are you delivering to?
be reliable, always show up, always do what you say you can do.
That's good, but that's down here. Because you're not even going to be in a meeting yet to tell people that that's what's happening.
Using failure as a learning experience.
You should. You should. Absolutely. No, you're right, but down here. Yes?
Make sure after you've given your pitch that you're still being seen by people who gave the pitch too. Don't let them forget.
That is also very important. All these things that you're talking about have one thing in common, and we will see if we can get to it. Yes?
Backup plan?
That's it. Know your products. Yes?
Don't take the first no for an answer.
Everyone says that. That is horse poop. You better take the first no. But that doesn't mean that you quit. There's a difference between persistence and being a jackwad. And if you don't accept the fact that they said no, you're going to be the jackwad and not the persistent one. Because it's different if you take what they said with that no, retool, go back to number one, and retool your product, and you come back 6 months later, a year later, and say, look, I took what you had to say, and I changed what I had. They're going to go, this person is listening. This person is persistent. We should have something. And so if you don't do that, and you come back the month later, hey, I got the same thing for you, they're going to be mad. Why are you wasting my time? And that's not something you want. Okay? Sir?
Make them be invested in you as a person and like you.
You don't matter. I'm sorry. You don't matter. It's business. You don't matter. Go ahead.
Be open to evolving your project or based off of the industry as well.
Yes, ma'am. That's up here. You definitely need that.
Follow up?
I'm not there yet, but that's down here. Go ahead. But yes.
Remember to compromise and cooperate?
Yep. Yes. It's down here. Definitely choose your battles. There are some that you can win and some that you absolutely will never, ever be able to win. Yes.
The internet and stuff like that.
No.
Social media?
It ties in, but that's not it. So I'm going to help you out. Okay? Because I want to leave some time for some questions. So the thing, this should almost be number one, but you can't have this. You can't do it. You can. You shouldn't do this without actually having number one. And the thing is, so you have this product, and if you don't do number three, no one's going to know about it. You gotta network. Number three is network, network, network. If you don't talk to people, they won't know what you're offering. And the problem is, everyone goes, I'm too shy. I don't like talking to people. What if they judge me? If you cannot speak to people, you need an agent. If you don't have money for an agent, you're going to learn to talk to people. Here's the thing. How many, there's a lot of sets, see a lot of sets coming in. How many of you who did not come with the person next to you on either side actually talked to the person on the opposite side of you? Here. Okay, that's not bad. Not bad. Did you guys know each other beforehand? No? Okay, what was your conversation?
I came in before you guys started yelling at everyone late. He turned to me and said, "Hey, you're lucky you got in early." I was like,
Yeah, he came in like 2 minutes before.
That is not a conversation! That's like, man, you are so lucky you almost got your butt spanked by the day. That's not it. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about networking. Who took this opportunity to network with someone they didn't know? You guys did. Okay, let's hear it. That doesn't matter.
She has a pitch for a superhero cartoon.
Okay. But did you two network with each other?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we just met.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay.
In line.
Okay. Oh, in line. Okay. Great. So you're like the first ones ever. I've been doing this for 9 years.
I just want to say, also before I came in, I networked with some girls outside, told them my story.
That's called flirting. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I'm sorry.
It was.
See you Yes, to the truth. All right. You guys are awesome. Absolutely amazing. So the thing is, though, here's where you should do these things. Here's where you should network. Because everyone here likes the same nerdy stuff that you like. Why wouldn't you want to network in Nerdvana? I mean, seriously. Why wouldn't you want to be like, hey, what are you doing? I'm of this. Great. I have absolutely no need for that, but this person might. And then you never know who's sitting next to you. You never know. I went to the Gaming Developers Conference a couple years back when I was still just a student, and I went to the professional days, or 2 days before the event happened, and you could talk to the professionals, and it's all educational, and it was great. I sat down for lunch, and they provide lunch for you because it's very expensive to go to these 2 days, so they provide lunch for you, and it was horrible. It was cold fish. And I don't mean sushi, I mean cold fish. So it was hot, and then it was cold. I mean cold fish, okay? So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, let's open this up. I'm like, you know, and so I was like, okay, let's try this. And the broccoli was horrible. Luckily there were chips and crackers, so we fed up on that. But I'm sitting there going, I should go to McDonald's, I guess. And then the person, it's these round tables instead of horizontal ones. And they go, can I sit next to you? I'm like, sure, why not? Sits down, looks at it and goes, ugh, fish again? The guy's been coming for years. Like, they keep serving this nasty fish. And so I said, hi, my name's Brian. What are you here for? And he goes, oh, I'm the president of Sony. I was like, what? Yeah, I'm the president of Sony. I was like, oh my goodness. How am I not going to look like an idiot in front of this guy? And we start talking. I tell him I'm a student. He's like, great, here's my card. Oh, great, here's my card. Sweet! You know, and I was like, eat the fish because it must be lucky. So something must have happened. And so while I'm scarfing down this horrendously cold fish, this other guy comes to me and he's like, can I sit here? And most of the other tables are full. I was like, sure, have a seat. Sit there, and he looks at me and is like, look, if you have fish like we do, it's horrible. And he goes, yeah, it happens. And I said, hi, my name's Brian. What are you here for? He goes, oh, I have a panel in a couple minutes. Oh, cool. What are you talking about? Oh, I'm talking about how I created Tetris. Okay, and so it was one of those ones where, like, I love Tetris. And of course, course you can't be that person. You're like, oh my God. It's like, oh, that's really cool. How long did it take you? So you never know who's actually sitting next to you. Here, last year, San Diego, I was behind my table, I was drawing, this guy comes up, we start talking, he's like, oh, I like your stuff. He's like, oh, thanks very much. His badge eventually flips around, it says professional on it. I said, oh, no, it said exhibitor. I said, oh, your badge says exhibitor, what do you exhibit? He's like, oh, I work for a game company. I'm like, okay. Normally, that means I work for a mom and pop shop game company, because if it is something, you tell people, right? I work for a game company. Oh, cool, that's awesome. What do you do? It's like, oh, well, for the recent project, I was the art director. Oh, can you give me something here? And he goes, oh, you might know this game. I'm like, oh. Strike the Captain Morgan pose, like, oh, really? Okay. And he goes, have you heard of a game called Hearthstone? And I told him, I was like, you are not allowed to do that. And he was like, what? I'm like, you can't tell people you just work for a game company. You work for the game company. You work for Blizzard. What is wrong with you? Like, you don't get to do that either. And then I was like, okay, so you said you're the art director, but what do you do on this last project? But what do you do? He goes, I'm the vice president of Blizzard. I'm like, and he's like, oh, it sounds a lot better than it is. I'm like, you don't get to do that! So you never know who's in the audience. You never know who's next to you. You never know. Networking should be as natural to you as breathing, because it's not that hard. Most people, it's so hard to talk to people. No, it's not. You want to know the best way to actually interact with somebody? Yes? No? Yes?
Hello.
Hi! You instantly know if they want to talk to you, because they're going to say hi back. Hi. How are you doing today? Oh, I'm fine. Oh, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm going to go to this panel. Really? I'm going to that panel too. I heard the guy has a big afro and is a jerk. That's not what I heard. I heard he has a big afro and he's a bigger jerk. But then you can start talking. Everything about networking is about building a relationship. The easiest way you can do that is to say hi. Now, I always have to tell people, because there's inevitably someone who does it wrong. And yes, you can network very wrong. Okay? Don't be a creep. They're like, what? No, you know, don't be weird. We already have a stigma. You don't need to act weird too. And people are like, whatever, that's not. What? No. I'm like, yeah, so let me demonstrate what you should not do. Let's see, who am I going to torture real quick? I'm looking for the person who's... See, I'm sure the camera hates me. I never stand still. This guy. What's wrong with this person? Let's see, looking over here. See, we got... Oh my God! Let's see. It's weird. It's creepy. And then everyone around you is going, this guy's a creep. What's wrong with this guy? Right? And then everyone's like, yeah, but see, you're this tall black guy with a lot of hair, so of course you went to a girl. That's really weird. Right? Don't do that! Okay, please. Oh, also, if there are free seats, don't sit in between people. Don't do that. Come on, common sense here, okay? If there's free seats, go sit in the free seat. Don't be weird. Like I said, we've already got the stigma of being weird. We don't need to perpetuate it, okay? But networking is so key. It is so important that if you don't do it, you will not get picked up. You will not get noticed, okay? Here specifically, you know there are 2 hotels connected pretty much to this building? All of the super professionals are over there. All of them. And every single one of them, after the show, goes to the bar and gets wasted. And it's free for you to go into the hotel. Why wouldn't you go there and talk to somebody? It's easy. It's easy. And there is time. There are times where you need to have some money because you're going to want to buy them a drink. You don't have to drink. I would recommend you don't drink. Because if you're sober and they're drunk, you'll get way more out of it. But you should be able to go, hey, can I buy you a drink? Because then once you have a drinking buddy, the next day after their hangover and they sober up a bit, then you can go to them and be like, hey, remember I was at the bar and we talked about, oh yeah. Now you're in. But you have to talk to people. If you do not do that, this will not work. Have to talk to people. We good?
Yeah. Know your product. Yes.
What's number 4? Might actually be a little bit in the creepy end if you do it too much. Anyone? Number 4? And give it a try? Yes.
Find an opportunity.
You guys are going through this so fast, we'll actually get to some of these down here. Yes?
Don't be a creep.
That toes the line. You'd be surprised once I tell you what it is. Anyone on this side? No?
Don't try too hard. Give them some air, some space, some room.
Okay, that's actually really close.
Be enthusiastic.
Also connected.
Look presentable.
You better.
Be friendly.
That's also part of it.
Confident.
Part of it.
Breathe.
I think that's a necessity. Good.
Ask their advice.
Mm.
Most people
That's a good one.
to give advice.
That's a good one.
Nurture the contacts.
That's later. Go ahead. It's part of it. Go ahead. Also part of it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys. He was like, no, please, me. Go ahead.
Know when to stop talking.
It's also part of it. Okay, wait. Yes.
Don't be desperate.
Also part of it.
What is it?
Okay, you guys are all on the right track. Let me tell you what it is.
They're probably early for the next one at this point.
I don't care. We still got a half hour. So, there is a razor thin line between confident and cocky. A super thin line between confidence and cocky. Okay? You never want to come across cocky. How many of you have worked with someone who is cocky? How many of you want to continue to work with a person who is cocky? It's like, well, it's like, no. How many of you have worked with someone who you've deemed to be confident? How many of you want to continue to work with said person? Okay? The difference is you're not arrogant about what's going on. You're not being a jerk about what's going on. I can deliver this. This is what I can provide to you. And even if it's something that's really good, if you can do it and not come across like, yeah, that's what I got. Come at me, bro. Then they're going to go, okay, I'll give you a shot. I'll let you try it. And then when you deliver, they're like, okay, didn't come across like a jerk bag. He really meant what he said. He's working hard. This is great. But when you have someone who comes, they ask you questions like, so what can you do? I can draw 24 pages of comics in 3 days. What? No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, yes, I can. Watch me. Watch me. I don't want to work with you. I don't ever want to work with you. Not only are you lying, but then you're also arrogant about it. And because our industry is so small, you will be blacklisted in a heartbeat. A heartbeat. I don't want to work with this person. Oh, by the way, this person came to me and was talking all kinds of nonsense and then told, especially if you're the kind of person who's like, that's why your company sucks. You don't want me. If you had me, I'd make you number one. I've actually heard that before. They got no, I'm sorry. We just don't have any openings. Your work's good, we just don't have any openings. That's fine. Y'all suck anyway. I didn't want to work with you. If you don't know what you're missing. If you brought me on, you'd be number one. You're never going to work in the industry. Ever. You don't want that. You want to be confident. And you can be confident by doing number one. Know what you're talking about. If you can do that, you will not come across as arrogant because you have no need to. Most people who are arrogant are covering for something that they don't either A, know or have the ability to do. Don't try and present something you can't do. It's pretty simple. You should know your product, and if that's you, you should actually know what in the world you're doing. If you come across arrogant, you will not work in the industry. Period. It got real quiet. It's like, but that's an important one, because if you cross that line, it's going to be extremely hard for you to get work. Extremely hard. So, number 4 is important, but it's less funny. Okay? So, number 1. Number 2.
Don't be cocky.
Okay. Number 5. See, we have time. I can still torture you. So number 5. What do you think so we have all this. Everything that we've talked about thus far. What's number 5? Number 5 is the linchpin of the 5 rules.
Show gratitude.
It's down here. Because yes, but that's down here.
Deliver.
Down here. Yeah? Right? You're like, what? Deliver's down. Yeah, it's down there. Anyone? Anyone else? Before there was like a million hands. Go ahead.
Be genuine.
Down there.
Lastly, make them remember you in a good way.
Yes, but that's going to... Well, like I said, you can go down in a flaming ball of glory and it's going to be good. But you want that after you've pitched. We haven't got there.
Create opportunities? Okay.
All of those are like the next rule down. Yes?
Way to contact you.
Down here. Yes? Down here. Yes.
Friends.
Networking. Yes.
Listen.
Down here. But yes, actually, I'll give you that one. Yes. But that's not what I'm looking for. Follow up? It's down here. You give up?
Yes. Yes.
They're like, yes, I'm tired of learning. Please just tell me. Oh, yeah. I was like, wait, I have 2 minutes? Wait, what?
Realize you're talking to the right person.
No, it's not. Well, see, you said yes, I give up, and then they're like, I want to answer. Go ahead.
Do your best to prepare ahead of time.
That's number one. Numero uno, okay?
Show up.
Well, yes. That's going to be down here. We haven't got to the pitch. You haven't pitched anything. You haven't got there yet. Oh, do we give up now?
The elevator pitch, the quick.
Get them to ask about what you do.
Out here. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Because we'll just keep asking. So, number five. Number five is a hard one. And it's a hard one for most people. Yes, most people. Number five is, it's not about you.
Oh yeah.
Get over yourself. It's not about you. Even when you're promoting yourself, it's still not about you. If you take things personally, you will be the destruction of yourself and your career. You will not be able to handle rejection because you will take it personally. That's what stops phenomenal artists, directors, writers, producers, and every other creative outlet of person, because they take rejection and negative feedback personally. And what I mean by that is if you put out a comic book and you have 1,000 people going, this sucks! This is horrible! Bring the other person back! This guy's awful! They're actually not talking about you. They're talking about the comic book that has no feelings. The comic book sucked. They hated the comic book. They're not going to come up to you and be like, you suck, you ruined my comic! Because, you know what, that's bold. And let's remember where we are. When you live in Nerdvana, you ain't bold. Okay? So let's be honest, they're not going to do that. But, you know, the internet allows you to think you're bold, right? So, but the thing is it's not about you. Even if they say no, you pitched your product and they go, nah, they don't like it. All right, great. I pitched to so many people that one year that I was pitching my game that if I wanted to waddle in my own self-pity, I could have. Because if one way it was either, no, we don't do those kind of games. We don't like that game. No. So what? It's not me. I'm not talking about me. Because honestly, I went out to dinner with them afterwards. That's the difference. I would do a pitch and then they're like, hey, do you want to have a beer with us? Sure. Other people are like, they just told you no and that your game needs 15 years more work. Okay, so what? Who cares? That doesn't mean that I need 15 more years of work. It means I didn't do something that a professional company who's been working in the industry for years and been producing work to where I want to work with them told me I still have to work on my product. That's not me, that's getting professional advice going, you ain't there yet. It's not about you. It's not. It is not about you. So you need to get over yourself. You are going to be your own worst enemy. How many artists do I have in here? How many of you guys think that your work, honestly, is the best thing since sliced bread? We got like 2 people. Why are you here? Like, why are you? Go forth and show us the new sliced bread. Show us the hot knife that makes toast when it cuts. You know, it's like, show us. But in all honesty, the person who is the hardest, who is the worst critic, will always be you. You will always find something wrong with your own work. Always. Because if you don't, you're going to be stagnant. And you can't grow if you're stagnant. No one is going to continue to follow you because they want to see new stuff. But if you're like, I'm the ish, and that's it, they're going to go, that was fun first month, 2 months, but now it's getting kind of old. Okay? So you are going to be your own worst critic. So if you're your worst critic, what everyone else has to say, not about you. It's going to be about what you present to them. So as long as you know your product, you're fast enough on your feet to actually BS your way to the truth. You've networked your butt off so that you're actually in front of someone to pitch to, and you're confident about it, and you leave your feelings at the door, I guarantee you, you will be in the best position to actually get your product picked up. It also helps if whatever your product is isn't horrible. That helps a lot. Okay? So, what was number one? Make sure you got it.
Know your product.
Number two.
Be your way to the truth.
Number three.
Network.
4.
Don't be cocky.
Number 5.
It's not about you.
Not about you. All right. So where's my time? What do I got?
About
10 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to give you some extra info. Extra info. These are those nuggets that people who already left won't get. So there are certain things that will allow you to actually sneak your way into an opportunity. The main reason you do any type of pitch is to do what?
Sell money. Make money. Make them money. Get the next pitch.
Yes.
You do your pitch. Because here's the thing, you guys are thinking of final pitch. You're thinking, I have an hour and a half with strobe lights and fog machine, backup dancers and everything. That's the pitch that you guys are all thinking about. But that's not the pitch you're going to get at all. You pitch to get more time. That's what you're doing your pitch for. And the reason why I know that is because your pitch is going to be the elevator pitch. That's as long as you have. The elevator pitch lasts 30 seconds. 30 seconds. And you look at that and you're like, that's not a lot of time. 30 seconds, right? Like that's too short. 30 seconds. But you have to be able to A, introduce yourself, B, convince them that they should give you more time, and then ask them for more time. Okay? So watch this.
Hi, I'm Eric, and
Awkward, wasn't it? Long, wasn't it? That was 30 seconds. That long silence was 30 seconds. That allows you to go, hi, how are you doing? My name is this, and I have a product that I would like to pitch to you. Is this a good time? I just did my entire pitch right there. Here's my product. I didn't say what my product. I have a new trading card game that combines the elements of TCGs, role-playing, and chess. And I was wondering if I could pitch it to you. Is this a good time? I just pitched what, in theory, a little bit, what I want to do in front of you in a mere 10 seconds. Then they'll give you one of two answers, yes or no. If it's yes, where? When would be a good time? Set it up, because then you have 5 minutes. That next pitch is 5 minutes. After you get 5 minutes, you might get 15 minutes. If they're not totally convinced with 15, you'll get a half an hour, and that's when you bring out the strobe lights and the background dancers. But your first pitch is 30 seconds. 30 seconds, and you're asking for more time. It's imperative that you get more time, because 30 seconds is not really enough time to convince someone to drop tons of money on you. So you're asking for more time. But once you get that 5 minute, this is where you have to be able to condense all of your magnum opus into 5 minutes and convince them that this is the product that they want. Okay? And you can do that with one thing. Do you know what that one thing is?
Confidence?
No. That helps, but huh? Yes. Okay. We're late. We're running low on energy. Okay, I got you. The one thing you need is a tagline. Do you guys know, have you heard about taglines before? It is literally your entire product into one sentence. Some people will go, one sentence. Some people will go, no, you need 3. No, you don't. I need a paragraph. No, you don't. If you cannot boil down your product to its essence and tell me what it is in one sentence, you don't know your product enough. Now, for those of you who are very crafty with the English language, you can have a very long one sentence. But know that most people are not crafty with the English language, and then they will say, that's a run-on sentence, you're just babbling. So, you need to make sure that you can actually break it down into one sentence. Now, that is what the definition of a tagline is, but I firmly believe that it should not be a sentence. It should be a question. One question. Okay? Do you want to know what the tagline for Star Wars was?
Yes.
What if there were cowboys and Indians in space? You're thinking about it now, aren't you? That's why you ask a question. Do you want to know what the tagline was for Iron Giant?
That was Serenity.
Hey, but see, it came first. They probably did the same thing. They're like, what about cowboys and Indians in space? Tagline for Iron Giant? What if a weapon had a soul? Right? You're thinking about it now. You're like, oh, when they pitched it, they did the same thing. Ooh, all right. What if a weapon had a soul? Now you pitch. Now you convince them. You need a tagline. You need a tagline. You have to be able to get yourself more time in 30 seconds so that you can deliver the tagline within your 5-minute pitch so that you can get 15 or 30 minutes of their time. If you can't convince them in 15 minutes, you need to try harder. 15 minutes is a long time. If you cannot convince them that your stuff is the bomb, you're doing it wrong. 15 minutes. And if you don't think you can do it, practice your pitch for 15 minutes. Okay? So, we've got 5 minutes left. Questions?
When you get after the question, you're telling more of the story. I've gotten really mixed opinions on whether or not you should be like, oh, it's like Star Wars underwater.
No,
you know, like, don't
never.
Okay.
Never reference someone else's product. Reason why? What if I hate Star Wars?
Yeah.
You've instantly lost. Now, if you say it is a galactic space war, I can put whatever I want in that. Yes?
What's a easy way? For me personally, it's hard for me to get over the feelings and critique, right? So what's a way to separate and then you're done at the door, like really quick on that?
The thing is, it's not you. That's it. You're presenting a product. And you have to believe that it's the product. You're pitching a product. You're the agent. Even if it is for you as the artist, you're still the agent. And so when they go, I don't like this, you have to go back and take that critique and work and not fall apart because they're not talking about you. What's your name?
Aaron.
Aaron. So if they go, this isn't what we're looking for, that's not translating to, Aaron, we think you suck. That's translating to, we just don't like this, or we don't need this, or we don't do this. It has nothing to do with you personally.
I guess I'm asking more because, I don't know if this is true or not, but an artist tends to put like their heart and soul into their
Right.
work, right? So that's more what it's
Right. But see, here's the thing. So if you believe it, if you believe in it, you'll be able to convince other people. And the thing is, you have to find the people who like what you like. That's the big thing. That's where that market research is going to come into play, because you go, I know that this company likes this. This is what I've done. So now you don't have to worry about them, poo-pooing on your parade because they're going, we like this too. You just have to convince us why this is going to be the best product. So you have to find out where you're going.
So you get past your elevator pitch, your that time for talking.
Right.
You're at a networking event. You've got competition. Someone interjects. What's your advice on how to either conduct yourself or deal with it?
So someone else in the audience that you're pitching to interjects and asks a question or something?
I've been to networking events and I've been talking and someone just like, boom.
Do they ask you a question or are they just trying to... What?
They jump in and they talk to the person they're talking to.
Ah. No. See, okay, so rudeness is countered by rudeness. When they jump... I'm sorry, I was talking to this person. I'm sorry, we were in a conversation. Just wait until we're done. But you have to be assertive, because if you let them talk over you, they will. Because everyone wants that networking opportunity. But if you're already in one, make sure if someone jumps in, you go, no, You wait, and then we'll go from there. You gotta be assertive.
We're 1 minute away.
1 minute away, okay. I will be out there to answer questions, okay? So we'll just do one more. The guy was in the back who was really...
If somebody that you're working with is maybe rude to somebody, say, a big publisher, would you advise to distance yourself? Or
Okay, so you have a friend or you know someone who was a jerkbag to the companies that you might want to work for. Okay, here's the thing, if they are in your studio, if you're like, oh, we're a studio together, then yes, you need to get out. You're like, no, you're an idiot. No, I'm good. I'm going to go do something over here. But if it's just your friend, you can't control your friend. Okay, if it's a studio, that means it's a company and you're making an active choice. The friend thing is like that, I'm sorry. Because you can use that. I've used that. He's a jerk. I'm so sorry. And they're like, he was a jerk. I know, he's a super jerk. I'm sorry that he did this, and blah, blah, blah. And then you insert yourself into it. So if it's just a friend, you're like, he's a jerk, I don't know why. I don't know what happened there, but I'm sorry. But if it is a company or a studio, yes, distance yourself from that. All right, so that's me, guys. I'll be outside. Absolutely. I have business cards if you are interested.
So,
Yeah, if you want to network and stuff.
Brian will be right out there.
Wait. We're gonna go out there.
Right out there.
Because